Yeah, welcome to Point to Point channel. So today I will be discussing about this Spring Boot REST CRUD operations with respect to this first level URI formation. So earlier I have discussed about what is first level URI and second level URI in my previous videos. So practically I'm going to show how we can perform CRUD operations what to say inline to real time practice. Okay. So I'm going to discuss about all these uses of Spring REST annotation. So these are known as Spring implemented REST annotations. Okay. So at the rate controller, at the rate versus at the rate REST controller, and at the rate response body versus at the rate request body, and at the rate path variable versus at the rate request param. So, in my previous video also, I have already highlighted. Spring has given its own implementation instead of implementing JAX-RS specification. So these are all the annotations given by the Spring MVC framework. Okay, MVC module. Okay, so and this is at the rate request header, and similarly at the rate request mapping, and get mapping, post mapping, put mapping, delete mapping. What exactly the difference? Okay, so when we will use response entity and when we use at the rate response status. So what is modal mapper? So yeah, I'm going to cover all these concepts. Yeah. So without wasting time, let's jump into the coding part. Yeah, so prior to that, okay, so let me also cover this point. Okay, so here so I will be explaining the example with the employee table. So I'm going to do all these operations. Okay, I'm going to fetch employee data whose ID is 1. So the URI will be something like this. So this is a first level URI. So why? Because I'm going to what you say, do all operations only on employee. Okay, and not on its related entities. Okay, so here you see, if I want to fetch all employees, a slash employees. Similarly, post means a slash employees, just the method will change. It's a post. Okay, so here status code is 201. It's important. Similarly, put also so slash employees slash 1. So that means I'm going to update employee data whose ID is 1. So that's why I need to pass 1 as a path parameter or path variable. Okay, so here also in this case we just written 200. Similarly, delete. If I want to delete all the employees, just slash employees, just consider the delete HTTP method. So if you want to delete only one employee whose ID is 1, just slash employees slash 1. That's it. Here the status code is important. This is 204. Okay. Similarly, query parameters, where query parameters are famous. So for example, see, I just changed slightly. Slash query I have added. This is optional, but so just to differentiate between the other URIs, I just added slash query. Question mark city is equal to Noida. So that means I want to fetch employees list who are residing in Noida, right? So their response status code is also 200. Yeah. So now, so yeah, so just some time before, I have created what is a demo project. So let me walk through you at high level what and all I have created. Okay, so first I will show you found.xml. Okay, so here if you see, yeah, so Spring Boot starter web, I have started data JPA. Okay, just to interact with MySQL database. Okay, so here so Spring Boot starter test. Okay, yeah, since I'm interacting with MySQL, so I just considered MySQL connector Java dependency. It's a driver. Okay, MySQL driver. And similarly, uh, yeah, Spring Boot dev tools. In order to save the development time, I just added Spring Boot dev tools so that I no need to restart the server whenever I do any code change. Okay, so yeah, this is Lombok. As everyone knows, just to get the advantage of getter and setter methods and constructors formation. So I just added Lombok dependency. Okay, and this is modal mapper. So modal mapper in the sense, in real time, we don't return entities as it is back to the client. Again, internally we will convert those entities back to some DTOs or modal objects. Those objects will be returned back to the client. So in order to convert a modal to entity or entity to modal, so this is quite helpful. So that's why I just added this dependency. I will show you shortly. Okay. So yeah, these are all the dependencies. So now if you see, since I have chosen this model mapper, this is a third party one, right? So obviously we need to, I mean, we need to create a bean in some app config, something like this, new model mapper with @bean. So then wherever we want, we can just pull that instance with @auto Okay. So yeah. So after that, so this is just employee controller. So okay, so here, I mean, I just added controller. That's it, nothing fancy. Um, so yeah, all logs constructor. I mean, I mean, as everyone knows, I mean, what you say, so here it will form what you say allogs constructor with the help of this allogs constructor. So then if we have one and only constructor, then we no need to annotate with auto void. It will be added automatically, right? uh, so that's the beauty of this allogs constructor. So that's why I haven't added any constructor over here still. So happily I can pull the instance of employee service here. Okay. So then request mapping. So request mapping in the sense whenever we fire a request, how does internally REST will come to know where to redirect that particular request. So this is the point. I mean slash v1 slash employee slash or something like that. So then it will reach here and internally we write some methods and accordingly it will navigate. Okay. So yeah, if you see, this is just entity, right? I mean, this represents a DB table, employee table. So here hardly we have 5 fields: ID, name, age, say, salary, city. That's it. Okay. So here identity we have chosen. So that means whenever we create employee data, we no need to pass ID. DB will take care of incrementing the ID value. Okay. So this is the one, and this is model as I said just now. Okay, whenever we try to create a record, we pass this data, not the entity data. Okay. So I mean, see, this is employee DTO. Okay, we pass this information and internally we will just convert this data to entity data, then we will save that entity to the database. Okay. So yeah, in real time, I mean, we use this DTO concept, so that's why, I mean, I just opted this one. Okay, I want to show you inline to real time. Okay, so yeah, so here you see, I mean, this is employee repository. As everyone knows, I mean, in Spring Data JPA, Spring Boot Data JPA, we have this type of employee repository, right? So in which, I mean, we have all CRUD operations already. So I mean, so we no need to write any CRUD related operations within this repository, right? So in case if you want any new operations other than CRUD operations, then we are supposed to write those operations over here. Okay. Yeah. So then yeah, service layer. So in between this controller layer and repository layer, I mean, we have one more layer, that is service layer. So I just created one interface, and obviously this is the implementation for that interface. Okay. So here I have a repository and model mapper. As I said just some time before, here also I just added @allogs constructor. So by that way I can add @autovide automatically to these two instances, right? So this is the one, and this is just a main class in which we have a main method. That's it, nothing fancy. Okay, and this is resources application dot properties. I just maintained MySQL database related properties, and this here I just mentioned update in the sense, I mean, whenever I run, okay, so if any changes within the entity, then accordingly it will update the database. Okay. So yeah, so here this is just a dummy test case. Nothing is written over here. So yeah, this is a high level code walkthrough. Nothing, I mean, nothing fancy. So now we will write some code to perform few CRUD operations. Okay. So yeah. So first I will write first operation for create employee. Okay. So then so as part of that, what we need to do. Okay. So go here, employee service. Okay. So just write what you say, create employee or something like that. Create employee. Okay, which accepts employee DTO. Okay, employee DTO. Okay, and which returns also employee DTO. Okay. So let's assume I have written this type of method. Okay. Now obviously we need to implement this particular method, right, in employee service IMPL. So if you come here, obviously it will show like this. Then I mean, So this is the implementation skeleton method. Okay, so here if you see, so um, yeah, so once we receive the employee DTO from the client or when any what to say, whoever files a request, then as I said just some time before, we need to convert this employee DTO to entity. That entity we need to save it to the database, right? So how to convert that one? So that one, okay. So I'm going to write some method. Okay, convert. Okay, convert model to entity. Okay, so here I'm just passing employee. Uh, okay, I'm just passing this employee DTO. Okay, so here, yeah, it will create a method. Yeah, you know. So here, it's very easy with the model mapper. Simply we need to write like this: model mapper dot map. Okay. So first we need to pass two parameters. So the first parameter is the source and second parameter is a target. Here, what is the source? Employee DTO, right? So what is the target? Entity. So we want to convert from DTO to entity. So for that, what we need to do? Employee. So we need to pass employee. Okay. Dot class. That's it. So um, yeah. So here okay. Let me return this one. Okay. So then that would be good instead of void. Okay. So employee. Yeah. So here yeah. So so here what I do, okay, employee repository, okay, employee repository dot save, okay. So here I will pass this one, okay. Uh, um, yeah. Um, what do you say? Otherwise, I will capture here. One second. So employee something like this. Okay. So then I will pass this employee to this one. Okay. So yeah. So now what we have done so far? Nothing. We just converted this employee DTO to employee entity. That's it. And we are just passing that entity to the save method. That's it. Okay. So immediately it will get saved to the database. Okay. Now once it gets saved, we are supposed to return back to the client that created employee, right? So for that, what we need to do? We need to do the reverse operation. So what reverse operation? That is uh, convert entity to model, right? So here, here what I need to pass? Employee. Okay. So yeah. So here I will create this particular method. Yeah. So just reverse. This is kind of a reverse operation. Okay. So here if you see, oh sorry. Uh, yeah. So here this is kind of a reverse. So I need to pass like this, and I need to yeah. So here I need to return this one employee DTO. Yeah, so far so good. So nothing, I just wrote one reverse operation to convert from entity to model. So obviously I need to what you say, return this one. Yeah. So yeah, we are good. So now it's good to write a controller. Okay. So where is controller? So here, yeah, this is the controller. Okay. So here, see what I do, public, okay, something, uh, create employee. Okay, create employee. Okay. So yeah. So what it return? Okay. So it will return DTO, right? So yeah. So yeah. So obviously whenever we file a client, what is say, create request, okay, or post request for this, so we pass some payload, right? So in order to capture that JSON payload, so we need to write something like this at the rate request body. So here so this request body employee DTO. employee DTO. So what does it mean? In a payload, in a postman, so whenever we fire a post request, obviously we pass a payload in JSON format. Okay, so that resembles this employee DTO. So right, that JSON will resemble this employee DTO, what is a Java object, right? So internally, what happens? Um, Spring REST internally it will take care of demarshalling operations from that JSON to this Java object. So in order to do that one, we need to pass this at the rate request body. So it will do some deserialization or demarshalling operation or unmarshalling operations. Okay. So yeah. So here, so we need to pass at the rate post mapping. So at the rate post mapping. So far so good. Okay. So then what we need to do, okay, we need to just return, okay, employee service, okay, dot create employee, okay, and here we need to pass this employee DTO, right? See, so far so good. Okay, I think some error it is showing here. Um, 1 second, let me see this. Employee DTO, create employee, return. Um, 1 second. Yeah, sorry. I mean, I wrote one extra at the rate. That's it. Okay. So yeah, we are good. I mean, yeah, we have written first operation that is to create an employee. So nothing. I mean, so at the rate post mapping. Okay. So far so good. Okay. So yeah, I'm just starting the server in debug mode. Okay. So as soon as I start the server internally, what it does, I mean, it will create one empty employee table in the database. So I will show the database. So this is the MySQL workbench. So here is, so till now, I mean, there is no employee table. Okay. So now just now, I mean, shortly it will create one empty employee table. Okay. So yeah, let it start. Okay. Yeah, just now it has created that employee table. Okay. So here if you see, yeah, so you see employee table is created. Okay, so now we are good to perform some select query. Nothing is there, empty employee table. Okay, so now okay, so see, I'm going to fire one post request. So obviously I need to choose like this post. Okay. So here, okay, here, so this is the proper URI. Okay. So slash v1 slash employees. Okay. So here, if you see, this is slash one slash employees for post mapping. Here I have not written any further URI. All right. So so this is the one and this is the payload. So this is the body. Okay, here, see, this is Mohan, his age is this one, so he resides at Noida. Okay, so for example, if I fire a request, so what happens? Yeah, see, we got not found. So then what happened? So we'll see whether the DB, I mean, data is created in the DB or not. Okay, so yeah, so data is created successfully within the DB. Then still, why we have got this 404 not found? Okay, so 1 second. So the reason for this 404 is um, Spring REST is not able to convert this employee DTO back to the JSON. Okay. Why? Because I mean it was unable to serialize or it was unable to marshal the operation from a Java object to JSON. Okay. So why? Because here, here we have written a Spring MVC at the rate controller. In the MVC concept, if you choose at the rate controller, obviously here we need to pass some view related names. So then what happens within that Spring MVC framework? Okay, it will take that view name and it will append some .jsp or whatever. Then accordingly it will what you say, redirect to the proper view, and that view will be displayed. But here in the case of REST, okay, so we don't have any JSPs, we don't have any views, right? So here we have straight away what you say, either JSON data or XML data, right? Uh, so then, so for that, to overcome that problem, we need to say, at the rate response body. Okay, so here, yeah. So now what does it mean? So at the rate response body, okay, simply converts your Java object to the what to say, JSON format. Okay, so it will do successfully this kind of marshalling operations, right? So I mean, if you return your response either in XML format, then also it will convert. Whatever by default, I mean, it will return always in the JSON format, right? So now, okay, so now let me show you the debug mode whether it is started or not. Okay, yes. So let me see in the postman. So I'm firing the same request. Hopefully now we are supposed to see. Yeah, see. Now, as I said, as soon as I add that at the rate response body, now we are able to see the what do you say, created employee data in the form of JSON. So you know earlier it has created employee record whose ID is one. Now it has created two. So here you see now in the DB we have two records. So just now it's created a second record with ID two. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so now I will show you one more thing. Okay, um, yeah. So here, I mean, so whenever we write some what you say create operation, update operation, or delete operation, so everywhere we need to add this I mean this at the rate response body to do this marshalling operation from Java to JSON object, right? So do we really need to add everywhere like this at the rate response body? So it's really not required. So Spring has given one more Spring Rest has given one more annotation, so that is at the rate rest controller. So I'm just what you say adding at the rate rest controller, okay, instead of only ordinary at the rate controller. Okay, now I'm just removing this at the rate response button. See now, so it should work as it is like how it was working earlier. So here if you see, I think it should take some time to restart. Yeah, see it's restarting. Okay, so I think we are good to hit. Yeah, see, same response, same request. Now I just removed at the rate response body, and I just converted at the rate controller to at the rate rest controller. That's it. Same response. Okay. So far so good. Okay. So yeah. After that, what I want to show here is okay. Um. Yeah. So you see here, what is the response status code? 200, right? But see what I said in the starting of the video. Okay, so in the case of post request, we are supposed to return the status code 201, not 200, right? So this is the as per REST standards, we are supposed to return 201. 201 represents created, record is created successfully, right? So then how to return the status 201 instead of 200? So for that, okay, we have two approaches. Okay, the approach number one is okay, we can simply add one annotation at the rate response status. Inside that, what I do, okay, http status, okay, dot created. See, so yeah, let it restart. So nothing. I mean, I just added one more annotation at the rate response status with http status dot created. Here, this created in the sense, you know, internally. See, this is 201. Okay, so now instead of returning 200, it will return 201, right? So yeah, I will show you. I'm filing the same request. Of course, it will create a third record. So yeah, let me change. Okay, some data. Better to change Hyderabad. Okay, so here this is Ajay. Okay, so I'm just changing some data. See now, third record is created. Sorry, this is fourth record. Okay, oh, I guess fourth record. So already three records are there, I guess. Yeah, so four record. Yeah. So first three records are with the same data. So now just now I changed the name to what you say Ajay and city as Hyderabad. Okay. So here you see we got the created employee data also. So so now see the status 201 created, right? Yeah. See, 201 created earlier. Earlier we have got 200, so now 201. So yeah, this is the approach number one. And approach number two is, instead of adding this at the rate response status, okay, we can what do you say? We can use a response entity also. In that response entity, basically we can incorporate a status, we can incorporate body, and we can incorporate any headers you want to return in the form in the response. So all those things we can do with the response entity, right? So for that, okay, I will show you. Okay, um, so we need to do something like this. Okay, uh, so for that, what we need to do? Okay, so let me comment this. Okay, so here, um, okay, so I'm just writing response entity. Okay, dot. Okay, status. Okay, I need to pass HTTP status that created. Okay, so then dot body. Okay, so then dot body. Okay, within this body, what I do? Okay, I'll just pass this one. Okay, so I'll just pass this one. Okay, so I'm just removing this particular one. Okay, now instead of returning employee detail, what I need to return? Response entity. See? Okay, so see, yeah, I guess it's showing some exception. What it is saying? Um, yeah, missing return statement. Yeah, sorry, it's missing return statement. I need to write return. Yeah. Yeah, so far so good. So if you see, instead of using the at the rate response status, now within the single statement, what I am doing, I am just passing the status and as well as the body. Body in the sense, I mean, the created employee data also back to the client here, so something like this. Okay. So now, okay. So let me show you. Not sure whether it is restarted or not. Okay. So let me give you a try. So obviously it will create a fifth record. So fifth record, better to write one more Rajendra. Okay. So I will do Chennai. Okay. So if I fire a request, obviously it should create a fifth record. Yeah, fifth record is created. See, 201 created. So far so good, right? So now I have shown the two approaches. What you say, to return the data with 201 status instead of 200. Okay, one is with the response status, and second one approach is with the help of a response entity, right? So yeah, so far so good. Okay, header parameters. So header parameters, okay, even we can capture the header parameters also happily. So first of all, I will show you. Okay, so these are the header parameters we are passing. Okay, while firing a post request. Here you see content type, user agent, host, accept. So many header parameters are there, right? So for example, whatever we are passing in the user hyphen agent, okay, how to capture that particular value? Okay, so for that, okay, what we need to do? Okay, we need to add something like this at the rate request header. Okay, so header. Okay, so string. Okay, string user agent. Okay, so here we need to pass which header parameter we are interested. So here we are interested user hyphen agent. Okay, so here what I do? Okay, I will simply print that particular value. So just to show you how to capture the header parameter value. Okay, mm, user agent. Okay, agent. Yeah, so yeah, let it restart. So meanwhile, I will change the data. So in the body, okay, so here, I will just pass Kalyan. Okay, so yeah, city is Pune. Okay, so yeah, so now it's restarting. We are good to fire a request. Okay, so yeah, it will fire one more employee data. See, yeah, It has created a sixth employee data with the 201 status. So now the important point here is, okay, so I will show you. See, this is the user agent. It has printed, right? The user agent, what it is printing? Postman something something, right? The same thing we are passing right here. See, user agent, yeah. See, this is the one. Postman something you are passing. The same thing I just captured. So I just want to highlight how to capture the header parameter, whatever you are passing. So we are supposed to capture header parameter, something like this. Okay. Now, how to incorporate this one in the response? So that is also important. How to incorporate? So that how to incorporate in the sense what we need to do. Okay, in the same response entity, we need to pass this header something like this: user hyphen agent. Okay, agent. Okay, user agent. Okay. See what I'm doing. In addition to the status and this body, I'm just also passing the header. So in the response headers, okay, it will show now user agent also, right? So till now, okay, I will show you headers. So here you can see what and all headers we have. Okay, content type, okay, I mean transfer encoding, something blah blah blah, date, okay, keep alive. So we don't have any user agent, right? So so now shortly we will be seeing that user agent also. Okay, so I guess it's restarted the server. Okay, hopefully. Uh, yeah. So let me fire one more request. So here this is the body. Okay. So this time I just pass. Okay. Um, some name Asha. Okay, and city is Mumbai. Okay. So I'm just firing a request. Yeah, so here if you see user agent, so this header is added, right? So here you see this is the body. Okay, this is the new employee data. Okay, whose id is 7. See the response status 201 created. See, so far so good. Okay, uh yeah. So till now we have seen how to create an employee data with proper HTTP status, and how to capture the header parameter, and how to add the header parameter even in the response. So I have shown you all the possibilities, right? So now, so far so good. Okay. So so now I will show you how to get the response. Okay. So for that, okay, what we need to do? Okay, go to employee service. Okay, so obviously we need to write one method here. So obviously, okay, it returns employee DTO. Okay, I write one method fetch employee. Okay, something like this. Okay, so here I need to pass long ID. Okay, so that means I mean I will simply pass what is a ID value. Okay, in the form of path parameter. Okay, so then it will fetch that respective employee data, right? So then come here, just implement this one. Okay, so here what we need to do. So obviously here we need to write something like this: employee repository dot find by id. Okay, so this id we need to pass. Okay, so in case if that id is I mean if the record is not available with that id in the database, okay, obviously it will return null, right? So I want to throw some exception. Okay, so I want to throw some exception. Okay, so here so then what it does, it will create, I mean it will just return employee, right? Employee, yeah, employee, yeah. So far so good, nothing. I mean we just invoking this find by id. Okay, in case if the record is not available, then I mean in the java 11 I mean we have a new method or else throw. So it will throw internally no such element exception, right? So then what we need to do now, we are good to invoke this convert what you say model to sorry, entity to model. So this one, entity to model. So I just need to pass this employee. That's it. Yeah, we are good. So then we need to invoke the same method from controller, right? So here, so this is the controller. Okay. So now what we need to do, we need to write one new method, public employee. Okay, DTO. Okay, so fetch employee. Okay, so I need to write. So first of all, this is get call, right? So obviously I need to add something like this get mapping. Okay, so yeah, good. and we need to pass path parameter, right? So how to pass? So that one we need to pass something like this. Okay, so something like this. Okay, um, um, id. Okay, so here what we need to do to capture that passed id value, so we need to how to capture at the path variable. Okay, long id, right? So here what we will do, I mean return, okay, employee service dot fetch employee that id, right? Yeah, so far so good. Nothing, I mean, I'm just invoking this fetch employee just by passing this id value, right? So let's see whether it is restarted successfully or not internally. I'm not sure it has restarted or not. Okay, so meanwhile I will do the changes. Yeah, it's restarting. So meanwhile I will do what do you say. Yeah, so this is one more tab here, so here I'm just changing this get call. Okay, so yeah, I think we have created almost 7 records, right? See, I'm just passing 7. Okay, so let me fire a request. See, yeah, I got a seventh record. See, I got a seventh record, right? So yeah, we are good then. Um, so one question. So can we expect the response in XML instead of JSON? Yeah, we can expect, right? So then how to return? So for that, what we need to do, okay, so there are two changes are required. The first change here is we need to go here, employee DTO. We need to add one annotation at the rate XML root element. Okay, so this annotation is required, and we need to add one more dependency. So that dependency is Jackson data format XML. Okay, so that is here, if you know, uh, yeah, format.xml. Okay, so here I'm just adding that dependency. So internally it will take care of what you say marshalling operation from Java object to XML. Okay, so this dependency is important. Jackson data format XML. Okay, so now see we have added, so far so good. Okay, um, but so I said, right, I mean in the controller by default it will always create a response in JSON format. That's what I said, right? So even now, okay, of course we have added the dependency, of course we have added the @XML root element, but still it will return JSON only, right? See, I think it has restarted also, hopefully. See, still 1 second. Yeah, so let me fire. Let's see what happens. See, still it is returning JSON only, right? So yeah, guess it's restarted. See, it's returning always JSON. Then how to how to inform to the rest? I want to return a response in XML format, right? So for that, what we need to do here is, okay, uh, here we need to add one what you say one attribute that is produces. Okay, here just pass application slash XML. Okay, so what does it mean? So here I'm just informing to the rest. So I would like to return the response in XML format instead of a default JSON format, right? So now let's see whether it is restarted the server or not. Okay, so yeah, it's restarting. So we are good to fire a request. Okay. Oh, okay. We got some exception. Okay. So what it is saying? Uh, Yeah, not acceptable. Why not acceptable? Okay, we are supposed to see the response in JSON XML format, right? So the reason behind here is in the header. Okay, in the header, let me pull this response a bit downwards. Okay, so in the header, you see accept. This is a very very important header. Accept. Here, what I am saying. Okay, as a client, okay, I am just informing to the server, okay, I am expecting a response always in so and so format. So what format I am passing here? JSON format, right? So okay, so for example, I'm just passing star. Okay, star in the sense I'm okay with any type of response, so that is the star, right? So now, okay, so I just added, right? So I'm just pulling back. Okay. So let me fire the request again. Oh, okay. So now what happened? Still not acceptable, right? I guess this um, header accept. So accept. I think some either in stars, I guess. Um, slash no, some star only, I guess. Yeah. So star only, right? Mm, yeah. See, beautiful, right? So yeah, we got the response in XML. So see, I will show you. So now I will simply change from XML to JSON. See, so now what does it mean? So I would like to return the response in JSON format. Of course, this is default format. However, I mean I have just written JSON. See, server is restarted successfully. So now we will see the same data in JSON format. Boom. See, in JSON format. Now again I will change to XML. So let it restart. See, it's restarting. So now we will see the same response in XML. Oh, still it is taking some time. Okay, let me fire again. See, so by this way, I mean we can return the response either in JSON or XML format. Okay, so now, okay, now I'm just removing this particular attribute. Okay, so now how to do this content negotiation? So from the client, okay, now till now I have shown you how to return the response in specific format from the server end. Now I will show you how to demand the server uh, to return the response in specific format. So now, okay, instead of passing star, okay, what I will do, okay, I will say application slash XML. Okay, I will say like this. So that means what I am saying. So hey server, okay, please return the response in XML format only. So that's the meaning of this accept application slash XML, right? So at the server end I just removed produces everything, right? It's kind of in a generic way, right? So now what I mean, by default it will always return JSON format. In case if client is requested in XML format just by passing this accept header something like this, then server is also ready to pass the response in XML format only. See, let's see now. See, we have got the response in XML. So now simply I will change this XML to JSON. Okay, JSON. So now I will fire the same request. See, now we will get the response in JSON. See, so this is the content negotiation, right? So yeah. So till now we have discussed, I mean, how to create employee data and how to fetch the employee data in both XML and JSON format. Okay. So we have seen all the possibilities, right? Okay. So far so good. Okay. Now we will see how to update the data. Okay. So now for that, okay, what we will do, yeah, we'll go to employee service. Okay. So for, okay. So what I do, employee DTO, okay, update employee update employee. Okay, so here so here I mean it will accept the two things. One is employee DTO, okay, and second one is ID. So that means obviously I mean we pass a payload, right? That JSON what is say in the form of JSON, and we will also pass ID, employee ID, I mean to whom we would like to update the data. So these two parameters are required. Okay, so then obviously so yeah, semicolon is missing. Okay, so now come here, employee service MPL. Let's try to give the implementation. Okay, so first what we need to do, we need to fetch an employee data first of all from the database with this ID. Okay, so for that what we do, employee, okay, employee repository, okay, dot find by ID. Okay, so this ID, okay, or else row. Okay, so here Yeah, so nothing. I mean, I'm just fetching the employee data whose ID is so and so ID. Okay. So now, okay, we have fetched the data. So now, see, we are passing this modified employee data from the client, right, in the form of a payload. So that payload got converted to this Java object, right? So somehow we need to what we need to do? Somehow we need to pass this employee data within this entity, within this employee entity. So how to do that one? So we need to do convert, okay, model to entity, okay, entity. So of course we have already this method. Now I'm what I'm doing, I'm overloading this method with the different method parameters. What I'm passing, employee DTO comma employee, okay, comma ID, okay. So here what it do, so it will create. Okay, we need to create one more method. So entity to model, okay. So this one, sorry, model to entity, right? So this one, okay. I'm creating one more. Yeah. So here, I mean, in line to that, I mean, I'm just passing the parameter employee. Okay. So long ID. Yeah. So far, so good. Okay. So now what we need to do? Okay. So return. Okay. So here, employee DTO, instead of passing second parameter as employee dot class, what we need to do? Employee. Okay. Employee. So that means what does it mean? Now I'm just converting all the data from employee DTO to this employee. So right. So then again we will save this employee. So that's our intention. So it will pass all the data, but we are not passing ID, right? Within the what do you say, within the payload while firing update request. So then what we need to do? Okay. So we need to set the ID manually. Employee dot set ID. Okay, manually. That ID is this one. Okay. So yeah, so we are good. Okay, so I think this one also not required. Yeah, I'm just changing to void. Okay, so now, so where are we? Update employee, right? Yeah. So here, uh, now what we need to do? Okay, we need to simply save the what is a modified employee back to the database. That's it. Okay, employee. Okay, employee. Yeah. So now, yeah, I mean, we can't return that entity back to the client, right? We need to again convert, right? So convert, what we need to convert? The same thing, the same line. I will just copy, return. Yeah, see, so far so good. Okay, now we will do the required modifications even in the controller also. So this is the controller. Okay. So for the controller, what we need to do? Okay, I will just copy this data. Okay. Uh, yeah. So here, so we need to do put mapping. Put mapping. Yeah. So something like this. Here also I'm passing this ID, right? So update employee. Okay. So yeah, path variable long ID is required. Now we also need request body also. Request body also. Employee DTO. Employee DTO. Okay. So here what we need to do? We need to call update employee and we need to pass what and all we need to pass employee DTO comma ID, right? Yeah, so far so good. So yeah, we are good to test the update employee operation also. So but before that, let's confirm here whether it is restarted or not. Okay, it will take some time. Okay, so meanwhile what I do? Okay, yeah, it's restarting. So meanwhile I will come here. Okay, so earlier I have created post request, right? Now I'm changing from post to put. Okay, post to put. Okay, so here, earlier I have fired get call, right, for employee data whose ID is 7. So we have got name as Asha, right? So now I want to change this data. Okay, now what I do? Asha to, I just change to Ravi. Okay, Ravi. So yeah, let me fire this request. So I need to pass what do you say, 7, right? So yeah, put and 7 also I'm passing, and here name I just changed from Asha to Ravi. So yeah, let me fire this request. Yeah, so far so good. See, data got modified, right? 7 and Ravi. So I will also show you in the database. Okay, see the here so many records. See here, seventh record name is Ravi, right? Yeah. So that means we have successfully performed even update operation also. Yeah, we are good so far. Okay. So yeah, now I will show you how to do the delete operation also. Okay. Um, um, so yeah, prior to delete operation, I will also show you how to do a query parameter also. So yeah, query parameter. So for that query parameter in the sense, so till now we have fetched a records with the help of ID only, right? So can we fetch the records with name, okay, or with age, or with salary, or with the city? Yeah, we can fetch, right? So how to fetch? So then the URI will be changed, right? Instead of passing slash employees slash ID, we are supposed to pass slash employees. I mean, question mark we need to pass, name is equal to something, age is equal to something, city is equal to something. So these are all the query parameters, right? So then, so first of all, what I do, okay, I will, um, so what is it? So yeah, so here in employee service, okay, what I do, okay, so um fetch, sorry, fetch employees, okay, by city. Okay, so I want to fetch the employees by city, for example. Okay, so string city, right? So obviously it will return the list of employees, right? List of employee, okay, employee DTO, right? Employee DTO, right? Yeah. So let me implement this one. Okay. um, so here, if you come here, yeah, so what it does, so basically employee repository dot find. Oh, see, we have only CRUD operations, right, within the repository. Now we are going to do a new operation, that is fetching records by city. So we don't have that one, right? So we need to write like this, find by city. Okay, so this is a derived query, this is a derived query, and here we need to pass city. So here, I mean, it will create internally. See now, yeah, first time we have created one new method in the repository. So till now we just managed all the CRUD operations, which are available by default within the JP repository or CRUD repository. So first time we have written a method, right? So find by city. So now what it returns, list of employee DTO, right? So employees, okay, employee DTOs list or whatever, employee DTOs. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm sorry. I think it will return employee, right? Sorry. So it will return employee. Yeah, not employee DTOs, employee. Yeah. So far so good. So yeah. So why it is showing some error? Okay. List. Okay. Uh, provided void. Okay. Okay. I think provided void. Okay. Find by city. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So list of employees. Yeah. So far so good. Okay. So yeah. So now, okay, we have got somehow list of employees from the database whose city is so and so. Now we need to convert, right, again. So how to convert? So first of all, what I will do, okay, I will do this streaming operation, employees dot stream, okay, stream, and I will do some mapping. So I want to convert employee to this one, right? So for that, what I do, okay, convert in what do you say, entity to model. So I'm just calling this one, okay, and dot collect of, sorry, dot collect of collectors dot to list. See, we are good. So simply I'm converting each entity to model. So yeah. So okay, let's assume when we pass the query parameter, okay, if we pass the city name, okay, a different in new city, which is not available in the database, right? So I mean, obviously, what you say, it will return the empty records. Okay. Otherwise, if I don't pass the query parameter itself, then what happens? It is supposed to return all the employees details, right? So then for that, I mean, we need to write one more method. Okay, so something like this. So same thing. So just employees instead of by city. Okay, simply just fetch employees. That's it. Okay, then come here. Okay, okay, yeah. So here almost the same. Yeah. So here so now instead of find by city, find all, right? We have already a default one, right? Find all, find all. Yeah, yeah. So here no need to pass anything. Yeah, this is the default method which is available, predefined method in the repository interface, right? So yeah, we are good. Now come here. Okay, in the controller. Okay, so where is the get method? Okay, so this is the get one, right? So I will copy this. Okay, I will write this one. Okay, what I am doing? I'm writing fetch employees. Okay, so now instead of passing this what is a path param, okay, so now I'm interested in request param. Request param. Request param is nothing but which represents the query param. Okay, so here what string city. So string city. So here what I will do? Okay, so if city is not equal to null, okay, if city is not equal to null, so that means user is passing a valid city. Okay, then I am interested to fetch employees data based on that city. Okay, so here city, so that city, right? Yeah. So here we need to just change to list of employee detail. Yeah. So list of employee detail. Yeah, we are good. In case if user won't pass this city, so then by default we need to pass all the employees, right? So for that, what we need to do, we need to invoke this particular method. So that method is nothing but only fetch employees. Yeah, we no need to pass city. Yeah, so far so good. So oh, I guess I'm passing city by mistake. Okay. So here again I need to come here. So um, where it is, find all. Yeah, so far so good, I guess. Here still it is showing some error. What is this? Oh, okay, okay. So fetch employees, right? um yeah, fetch. Yeah, here also we need to remove this. Yeah, so yeah, so far so good. So yeah, we are good to test this one. Okay, now I will show you how to pass the query parameter. So okay, so let me see whether it is restarted the server or not. I hope it has restarted the server. Yeah, now it's restarting. We are good. Uh, yeah. So how to fetch the data? Come here. Okay. So here get. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So I need to do one more change. Okay. One more change. What is that change? I will show you. So here, okay, in get mapping, just to differentiate. Okay. I will add this query. Okay, so just to differentiate, why? Because we need to add question mark, right? So here, already we have this is ending with slash, right? So after slash, if I add question mark, it doesn't look good. So that's why I just added query. Okay, so yes, yeah, again it's restarting. We are good to test. Okay, so now what I do? Okay, so slash employees slash query. Okay, question mark city equal to, okay, city equal to Noida. Okay, Noida. So let's see, let's find the request. Yeah, we are good, right? Yeah, we got the record Noida. Okay, so now, okay, let's pass Mumbai. Mumbai. Okay, see, we got the record Mumbai. Okay, now, so that means it's working. So now, I'm not passing city. Okay, I'm passing only employees. Okay, so here I'm just removing query. Okay, yeah, we need to keep this query also. Okay, So I'm just firing the request. So that means okay, so something went wrong. What happened? Bad request. Okay, so what happened? Oh, okay. Okay, let me tell you what happened. Okay, so here in the query parameter, so by default this is mandatory. If you write like this at the request param, you have to pass a query parameter with question mark. Otherwise, it will, it will say it's a kind of a bad request. So let's assume your requirement is it's kind of optional. Okay, you may or may not pass the query parameter. Then in that case, what you need to do, you need to say required equal to false. Required equal to false. Then it's kind of optional. Okay, so now if you pass, then it will fetch the employees data based on the city name. If you don't pass, then it will simply return all the employees list. Okay, see, now it's restarting. I guess we are good to hit the request. See, now we are supposed to get all the employees list. See, we are good, right? We got all the employees list, right? Yeah, so far so good. So finally I will show you delete operation. So with that we will end up this video. It was getting long. Okay, so yeah, now come here. Okay, employee service. Okay, where it is? Yeah, employee service, sorry. So here, come here. Okay, delete operation is very simple. So here, just write void. Okay, delete employee, delete employee. Okay, based on some id. Okay, id, long id. Okay, so it will take next 5 minutes. Okay, so now come here. Okay, so just implement what you say. Yeah, so simple, very simple. Just employee, where I'm typing, sorry. So yeah, employee repository dot delete by id. Simply you need to pass the id. That's it. Very simple. So already we have a predefined method within the repository, delete by id. I'm just making use of that one. Okay, now come to controller, write one more method. Okay, so now I'm just writing one method. Okay, so for example, already this one is there. Let me copy. Okay, so now instead of put mapping, I need to do delete mapping. Yeah, so here I'm passing values equal to id. We are good. Okay, so here we don't want this request body. Yeah, so here nothing I am returning, void. Okay, so I'm returning nothing, right? So return also not required. So delete mapping. Yeah, so delete employee. So yeah, so far so good. Yeah, so I'm just invoking this delete employee. So as I said in the starting of the video, okay, status code, always you need to remember status code, very important. So here delete, for delete operation, this is not 200, this is 204, 204. That is nothing but no content. So how to write the status code? So I said, right, and that's response status. Okay, so somewhere it's not showing. Okay. Yeah, this one. So just write like this, status. Okay, dot no content, right? Status dot no content. Okay, so yeah, it's not somewhere it will be there. HTTP status dot no content, no content. Where it is? Yes, come on, this one. Yes. So yeah, we are good. Okay. Uh, so let it restart. Okay. Meanwhile, I will do the required changes. The postman. Okay. So what we need to do? Okay. So come here. Okay, so here I'm just changing from put to delete. Okay, put to delete, right? So I would like to delete a record whose id is 7, let's assume. Okay, so now I hope it restarted. Okay, let's see. So now seventh record should be deleted from the database. Okay, yeah, we are good. See, we have got 204, no content. Let's check in the database. Okay, see, till now seventh record is there. Now as soon as I refresh, it should be vanished. See, we are good. Seventh record got deleted, right? Okay. So now how to delete all the records? Okay, how to delete all the records, right? So then for that you need to write one more method. Okay, it will take 2 more minutes. Okay. So here just, yeah. So here no need to pass nothing. Okay, so delete, instead of employee I will say delete employees. Return type is void. Okay, so now come here. Okay, so yeah, I need to write one more method, very simple, employee. Oh sorry, um here employee repository dot, already we have one more predefined method, that is delete all. That's it. Okay, just come here in the controller. Okay, write one more method. Okay, so this time also the same delete mapping. I no need to pass any ID, but because I would like to delete all the records. Okay, so here also nothing is required. Okay, yeah, nothing is required. Instead of employee, I will say employees. Oh, sorry, I need to change this delete, right? Earlier, I mean, I have forgotten to change delete employee. Okay, now of course it was working fine. Why? Because URI was different. So now, okay, yeah, delete employees. Yeah, so far so good. Okay, now we no need to pass this ID. Okay, so we need to call employees. Okay, yeah, so far so good, right? Yeah, we'll test this and we'll close this video. Okay, so let it restart. uh, yeah, it's getting restarted. Okay, so here obviously no need to pass any path parameter. Yeah, we are good to hit. As soon as I hit, okay, it will delete all the records in the database. See, it got deleted. 204, no content. Let's see in the database. Okay, as soon as I refresh, all the records will be deleted now, right? See, boom. Yeah. So I mean, I have discussed all the possibilities with respect to CRUD operations. I mean, I have discussed, I mean, how to create a record, how to update a record, even how to delete a single record, how to delete all the records, and how to fetch a single record, and how to fetch all the records. Okay, how to fetch the records based on query parameter, in our case with some city name. Okay, so I have shown all the possibilities. Even what you say, I have shown you the difference between at the rate controller versus at the rate rest controller. Even I have shown you what's the use of at the rate request header, how to capture the header parameter, and even how to include the header parameter even within the response. Okay, even I have shown you the uses of response entity, how to return the response entity in which we can incorporate the headers, body, and status. Okay, if at all you want to return the only status, okay, you are okay with the body, or you want to just add the status, whatever you are interested, then you can make use of it response status. So then in that case, you no need to use the responsibility, right? So yeah, we have covered almost all the key concepts of the REST framework in the case of first level URI. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so that's it. This video. If you really like my video, please like and share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.